What is up guys, it's Cal, and in this video I'm going to show you how to complete the Deaths of Chromie scenario. Now doing this quest line for this scenario will award you 40 million artifact power, quite a bit of time warp badges, an achievement, and a transmog set. So starting out here, you're going to be in Legion Gul'dan, and you want to talk to Khadgar, who will tell you to reach Time Hopper reputation with Chromie, which will award you that 40 million artifact power I was talking about. It's 40 million at Artifact Knowledge 40. Now Chromie's reputation plays a pretty significant part in this. You start out as a Whelpling, then Temporal Trainee, Time Hopper, Chrono Friend, Bronze Ally, Epoch Mender, then Time Lord, which awards an achievement. Anyways, I'll go more into that later. Go to the center of Gul'dan, to that other area, and take the portal to Warcraft Temple. You'll then talk to present day Chromie, and she'll say some stuff about her future, so you talk to her and go to a mini scenario where you time travel into the future to prevent Chromie's death. Spoiler alert, she dies. A lot. Once you complete that mini scenario, you'll go back to the present day and talk to Chromie again to go back into the future, but not quite that far to where she dies. In this mini scenario, you talk to all the dragon aspects to get some more information to prevent her death. However, she does die again and you'll go back to the present. Then talk to her again to enter the main scenario that this entire video centers around. The scenario does make you level 112 with an item level of 1000, so everyone's even. You also don't get Concordance of the Legion Fall. So now let's pause for a sec. I'm going to break the rest of this video into 3 parts to make it as easy as possible for everyone to understand. Now if you're already familiar with the Chromie scenario, then you can skip to the time on the screen now, which will take you to part 3 and will just show you the fastest route it took to finish the scenario. Because this scenario does require a lot of prep. So if you've never attempted the Chromie scenario, then continue watching. So this first part is going to be preparation. When you zone into the scenario, you'll talk to Chromie, and you can start it, or you can change her talents around. This is where the reputation plays a part. If you're just starting out, you'll only have access to our first tier talents, which are Time Stop and Acceleration, and you can switch these talents at any time between the scenarios to fit with what you're trying to do. Now each tier opens up as you go up a reputation level with her. If this is your first day doing it, then you'll only have access to her first 2 tiers of talents. The 3rd tier does require a day of research, and so on for further tiers. Now between you and me, I really only needed the first 2 tiers to finish it completely. So now the first tier of talents. Time Stop will allow Chromie to freeze enemies for 3 seconds when she wants. This helps you with survivability. And Acceleration increases your movement speed and mount speed by 20%. For the sake of not dying and because you won't be finishing the scenario in this go with Time Stop. I didn't pick up Acceleration until part 3. So once you pick Chromie's talent, you'll talk to her again to start the scenario, which you have 15 minutes to do. Possibly more time, you'll see what I mean by that later. Now you'll head to each of the 4 dragon shrines which are marked on the map. This will take more than one go, remember? This is preparation. Head to the southernmost dragon shrine where you'll talk to an NPC there, and you'll agree to help them. Now kill all the plants and birds around. Sorry, it's a bit laggy on screen. I did take this part directly off of my live stream because I was streaming my first attempts at this, and I had a few lag problems at the start. So as you're killing these plants and birds, make sure you're looting them. They'll drop feathers and leaves or something, I don't know, something like that. You combine 10 of the leaves and 8 of the feathers to create an Emerald Nightmare thingy. Now you'll see these trains around the Dragon Shrine. There's 3 of them. Use the extra action button Emerald Nightmare thing to go into the Emerald Nightmare and kill the enemies that are harassing the treants. Once you kill one set, you'll kill more plants and birds to create more of the Emerald Nightmare whatchamacallits, and go to the following 2 treants to defeat the enemies there. Now once you do that, you have to kill Thalas of Vilethorn at this location of the area. He's the boss of this place. Once you kill him, you'll get a Chrono Shard which you'll turn in at Warcraft Temple, and it'll activate a portal to Anderhall. I'll talk more about these portals in parts 2 and 3, but all you need to know now is that they do carry over in other scenarios. So now as you're doing this, you'll notice that you get these things called Sands of Time. How successful you are in the scenario revolves around these. Now these Sands of Time will give you one of 2 buffs that you get to choose from. They might give you Reputation, a Reputation buff, increase your damage and healing, reduce damage taken, increase your speed, give you extra time, give you time warps badges, give you treasure, give you a powerful treasure that will clear a portal for you, or a drake that will clear a dragon shrine for you. Those last 2 come handy later on. Now these power-ups only stay with you through one scenario and are wiped clean when you re-enter the scenario. During parts 1 and 2, you want to pick the reputation buffs above all else, whether it increases your reputation gain or just a straight reputation gain. These buffs do stack, by the way, so you can have 2 stacks of reputation buff and like 3 stacks of damage increase buff at the same time. So get the reputation buffs first, Then you can get the like time walking badges or the small treasures. The small treasures will give you around 30ish to 40ish gold, and they also do have a rare chance to give 2 companion pets. So after that first dragon shrine, you want to go to the next one. I think it's Azure, it's right next to it. Make sure to talk to the NPC there and let them know that you'll help them, and kill everything around until you get 50 of these bandage looking things. By the way, you probably already noticed, but killing all these enemies do give you Chromie reputation. Keep that in mind. Once you collect 50 of these, combine them and fly up to the platform it shows on your map to kill Void Gargantuan. He'll drop a Chrono Shard that opens up a portal to Mount Hyjal once turned in at Wormrest. Next, go to the third dragon shrine that's up north a bit, and make sure you talk to the NPC again. Once again, sorry for the layout, I took this part from my stream, and yeah, it won't be like that for the rest of the video, I swear. Now you have to defeat these 3 mini bosses around the shrine, which will all drop something that you combine to kill the bigger boss in the world tree. Just fly down onto the mini boss, kill him, and AoE all his minions, then pick up the crystal or whatever it is, combine all 3 of them. Go into the center tree and talk to Chromie to summon the boss to kill for this area. He'll drop a Chrono Shard that unlocks the Culling of Stratholme portal. Then go to the final dragon shrine way up north, and you'll talk to Wrathion this time. You probably remember him. Go into the cave and kill the dudes in the cave till you get to the end and kill the mini boss. Take the thing that he drops and go backtrack to the entrance of the cave. Then talk to Chromie to summon this boss to kill. He'll drop a Chrono Shard that unlocks the portal to the Well of Eternity. And there you have it. Preparation is pretty much done. Now on to part 2, the reputation grind. So if you're a time hopper with Chromie at this point, then you can pretty much skip this step. But there's some information I still need to tell you about. First off, if you aren't a time hopper status with Chromie, get there. Well, actually on second thought, you really just need to be a temporal trainee to unlock her second tier of talents. Third tier does require a day of research. If you do, however, care to farm reputation, I'd go into the Anderhall portal. That seemed like the best place to get rep, and you just kill things there. You'll have to accept a quest from Chromie, fly around and kill some of the stars on your map, plus the dudes riding the horses. If you do get to Time Hopper, you can go ahead and turn the quest into Khadgar back at Legion Dalaran for your 40 million artifact power, if you feel like it. But anyways, when you do pick your second tier of talents, you get to choose between Accelerated Aggression and Rapid Recovery. To be honest, Accelerated Aggression seems to be better if you main a healer, and Rapid Recovery you should pick if you aren't a healer. It just helps a lot with your survivability. Whereas the Aggression one increases Chromie's damage, but she won't exceed 50% health most of the time unless you're a healer, which can allow her to die easier. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is that if Chromie dies, you fail the scenario. That's pretty important. If you die, however, you just respawn a Wormrest Temple, but just never let Chromie die. So I picked Rapid Recovery. Just make sure that you stay within 10 yards of Chromie for extra healing. Now, one of the biggest things is that you don't have to redo the Dragon Shrines completely for all the future scenarios. That was the whole point of the preparation stage. You do still need to fly to them and kill the main bosses, which will still drop Sands of Time. Don't forget about those. Now, speaking of Sands of Time, I want to mention 2 buffs that you can possibly get from these, which are the keys to success: Powerful Treasures and Dragon Shrine Drakes. They're called something like that. I actually think the Drake one is called Bronze Drake, whatever. The Powerful Treasures will give you 1 of 4 treasures that correspond to 1 of the 4 portals that allow you to skip to the last boss in that portal. These are vital. The Bronze Drakes will completely annihilate 1 of the Dragon Shrines if you choose the Bronze Drake reward. Just to put into perspective, flying to a Dragon Shrine and killing the boss takes roughly a minute, give or take, and doing a portal takes about 5-ish minutes. It really depends on which one you do, but they can be pretty long. So keep these in mind for the next part, which I'll go more in depth into in a minute. On top of that, I'd highly recommend doing each of the 4 portals to get familiar with it. I mean, I will show you what to do, but it's nice to get some first-hand experience. Also, another thing before we move on, Chromie does give a quest for you before you start the scenario that tells you to complete 4 of the attacks in one of the scenario runs. Those can be a combination of shrines and portals if you like, as long as you complete 4. That quest awards time warped badges. Then the next quest is the much more difficult one, and that's to complete all 8 attacks, which will award you more time warp badges, plus a transmog set. Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to part 3, which is completion. So at this point, the tier talents that I have Chromie using are Acceleration and Rapid Recovery. Before I mention the route I take, I want to talk about the buffs from the Sands of Time and which ones to take. Above all, if you ever see one that awards you a powerful treasure, take it. Next you'd want to take the Bronze Drake power up to take out one of the Dragon Shrines. I don't know if you can get that power up if you've already defeated all the Dragon Shrines in that scenario. I just remember once I defeated the Anderhall portal, then got a powerful treasure to skip the Anderhall portal. Yeah, that sucked. Next up, it's kind of a toss up which to take. The ones to not take at this point are the reputation ones, obviously. Also, I put the damage reduction ones pretty low on the list. I'm pretty good at keeping myself alive as a hunter. After the powerful treasure and Drake ones, I would take a damage and healing increaser one, then increase time, then increase speed. Also, this is how the extra time works. The extra time you pick up isn't added to the time that's on the side of your screen. Once that 15 minutes is up, you'll get a notification in the middle of your screen letting you know that you're now using stolen time, which is 10 seconds per stack of however many you have. However, the speech cues that Chromie gives when she says you have 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and 1 minute remaining are accurate. Now finally, the route I took. First off, when you start a Wormrust, make sure to take the quest from one of the dragon aspects that tells you to kill the bosses in their respective area. That's 3 easy sands of time right there. Honestly, I didn't even notice this quest until I was doing this for about an hour. I then headed to the southmost shrine. You don't have to talk to any NPC, just go right to where the satyr spawns and kill him. The main thing you have to look out for is a sleep cast he does, which is a pretty quick cast. Make sure you interrupt that. Other than that, just don't sit in any of the stuff that he throws out on the ground. Then fly your way to the next closest dragon shrine, which is just northwest a little. Fly onto the platform and Chromie will summon a Void Lord. He'll put these silencing bubbles out and also shoot you with a quick cast called Void Blast. This did about 1 million damage to my pet, so interrupt it if you need to. Head to the third dragon shrine up north. Make sure you're looting these bodies, by the way, because these bosses do drop sands of time. Also, if you get a bronze drake from the sands, be aware of which dragon shrine it took out, because you do not get to pick. When you get to the third shrine, go into the tree and kill the boss there. He'll just target Chromie with this ice thing, freezing her. I couldn't afford stopping to DPS the ice off of her. I just let her take it. It did do 25% of her health, but she did pop out of it. She also does gradually heal over time while out of combat. Once you kill that boss, head north and kill the final Dragon Shrine boss outside of the big cave. Interrupt this dude's cripple if he casts it on you. It does slow you. Also, when he's close to dead, he will cast this thing that's called something with an infernal. As soon as his cast finishes, move out of the way because the infernal will strike where you were standing and stun you if you're standing there. Don't DPS the infernal, just kill the boss. Okay, now you have 4 attacks down. You have 4 to go. Now head all the way back to Wormrust Temple, and you want to turn in your quest to get your 3 sands of time. If you have a powerful treasure at this point, go into that respective portal and use it. It'll bring you to the last boss which you have to kill. Unless it's the Anderhall one, then you have to give it to the Tauren in the starting room, where you'll then talk to Chromie in that area to pick up your sands of time and just dip out of there. If you don't have the powerful treasures, then go into the Hajjal one first. That one's the shortest. You have to run up to Chromie in this scene, then waves of enemies will come. The present Chromie that runs with you will freeze the enemies in place. You have to kill 2 waves of fire elementals, then a mini boss, then a wave of firebirds, then the final boss, which is a big molten elemental dude. All these enemies, by the way, do have a chance to drop sands of time, but the final boss will always drop at least 1. Next up, I would enter the Anderhall portal. Now be careful in here because this is the one portal where I found she has the greatest chance to die in. You have to talk to Chromie in this scene to accept a quest. Now I'm pretty sure this area is different depending on your faction, like the area you go to, so this is the Alliance side of things. If you're Horde, well, this is why it's good to become familiar with the area during part 2, so you know which elites to kill when. After you accept the quest from Chromie, fly over to this goblin boss right here, and kill her. Interrupt her overcharge ability, and if you see her cast static burst, use some CC to interrupt her. If you can't, run away. Once she's dead, she'll drop an item used in this area, plus hopefully a sands of time. There's a healing mini boss around here that I just skipped because she's a pain to kill and not required. Next up, I fly over to this orc mini boss to kill him. He is optional, but I find that he's pretty easy to kill. He does drop 1 or 2 sands of time, which is why I kill him. There's a mini boss right beside him, but towards my later attempts, I elected to skip it because it's optional and kind of annoying to kill. I fly over to this mini boss right here and kill the undead riding a horse, if you can. If it's not out of the way. You do have to kill 7 of them total in this area anyway. Then I would kill the mini boss, which is required. She'll drop an AoE vial on the ground that pulsates and does a lot of damage. Don't stand in this, and hopefully Chromie won't either because it will kill her pretty quickly. Once she's dead, pick up the item from her body and the sands of time if she has any. Then kill the horse dude in that small area if you didn't already, and he'll drop an item that does 15% damage to the cannon in that area, which is your objective to kill. Fly around and kill the horsemen near the cannon until you have 7 of the items they drop. Then target the giant cannon and use those other 2 items on it to take its shield down, and then use the 7 bombs to kill it. And now you're done with this area. You have to leave from where you came from. Hopefully at this point you've gotten a powerful treasure to skip the other 2 portals, because they're the longest. In my experience, Stratholme was the longest, so I went into the Well of Eternity before Stratholme. Once in Well of Eternity, stand as close to the side as possible and go forward, killing all the enemies in your way. These do have a chance, a rare chance, but a chance to drop a Sands of Time. There will also be invisible fell dogs who try to attack Chromie. Make sure to kill them. Just kill all the elementals in your way until you get to the portal at the end. You have to be out of combat to use the portal. Even if you're a threat dropping class like myself, Chromie will still get aggro on them, so make sure to kill all of them in your way. Then take the portal up. You'll now follow the road, killing all the enemies in your way, all the way to the final boss. Just kill him, loot him for the Sands of Time, then go forward and exit through the portal. Now hopefully you've gotten the key to skip Stratholme, but if not, this is how you do it. Once you enter the city of Stratholme, you go into this pub and talk to the guy to accept a quest. He'll have you run errands around the city and buy things. When exiting the store, you're going to head this way around the bend. Go into this store and buy both green items that the merchant sells. We're going to pick up all the items to complete 3 quests in this beginning area, so you're like killing 3 birds with 1 stone or something. When you exit that store, you're going to head up this way through the city and into the next store that's marked on your map. You'll buy the bouquet of flowers from the merchant and then leave the store. You'll then go into this store that's just up a ways and isn't marked on your map, and you're going to buy the green item from him. Then exit the store and go across the street into this store and buy the green item from this merchant. Then go into the final store up ahead, which is marked on your map, and purchase 2 salted venison jerkies and 1 rope. It's important that you buy 2 jerkies. Now head back and turn the quest in. The guy will give you a Sands of Time and tell you to deliver something to a lady across the street, so go over there and do that. She'll then run outside, accept the quest that she gives you, and then you can immediately turn it in to get another Sands of Time. Now go back to the first dude and you can turn a quest in for the Town Hall key. Once you have that, exit the building and you'll notice hostile mobs everywhere. Run all the way to the door and open it. If you can drop threat, try and do that, but stay in that room and kill any remaining ads that you pulled. Now at this point, don't run too far ahead of Chromie, because she can glitch and she won't continue at all. Proceed with Chromie up the stairs, one-shotting everything in your way. You'll go into this room and she'll open the door behind the bookcase. Go forward through the nook and out the building. Now at this point, I just killed the abomination mob standing right there. Then I just mounted up and ran to the end. I jump around the elite mobs so they couldn't deal enough damage to me to dismount me, and once I got to the end, I would feign death even though Chromie would get a lot of aggro, and then I just AoE all the mobs down until there were none left. You don't want any stragglers attacking Chromie. Then you'll proceed to the final boss, which is a giant bug. Once he's dead, loot him for the Sands of Time and click the web to help Chromie from that area escape. Then a portal will appear, and that is the Culling of Stratholme area. Now if you're lucky like me, you get a key from one of the Sands of Time, which allows you to go right over here, open a door, or a gate, and go straight to the final boss. And that's that. Those are all of the attacks in the Deaths of Chromie scenario. I really don't know what else to say at this point other than congrats, I guess. Oh well, you do have to officially complete it. So once you completed the 8th attack within the time, you'll then be prompted to go to present day. So head to the portal behind you at Wormrest and it will ask if you're sure you want to go back to the present. Make sure you have all 8 attacks completed, then click yes. You can then turn your quest into Chromie for more Time Warp badges, a transmog set, and more rep, if you aren't already a Time Lord from all the times Chromie died. And that's what the transmog set looks like. Not very enticing at all. But anyways guys, that's the entire video. Hope this was helpful to you. If it was, then you can leave a like on this video, you can sub to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.